So welcome back to another video here in Pennsylvania, and it's time to do another section of the Horseshoe Trail. Of course, just the other day we did that rainy day section, but today is this Saturday morning, May 6th. So it's a lot, as you can see, it's a lot nicer. Hardly a cloud in the sky today. Let me show you what the plan is for today on the map. I'm currently parked here at the Brecknock Township building, which is right here on the map. Let me shift this so my shadow isn't in the way. Alright, well, we are parked right here at the Township building. Of course, the last section we did was this. We went all the way from Plowville, did this whole huge 5-mile section, which isn't terribly long, but I did have to hike back, so that's what made it longer. But so we're parked here. So I'm going to hike up the road a little bit to this spot right here. This is where I left off on the Alleghenyville Road, and we're going to make our way out this way. Looks like this is off-road section through the woods, and we have this section here along Pinnacle Drive, which I think is like a dirt road. And we'll end up here along Route 625, so there's parking there, so that's probably we'll start the next video then. So we're going to do this section, so roughly, you know, what, 10.5 to 12.2 miles it looks like. Well, not 10.5, but 9.5, so to 12.2. Yeah, so about 2.7 miles on trail. Those are the numbers I was looking at, the mile markers on the map. So about mile marker 9.5 to 12.2. All right, so I had to police show up. There's one cruiser back there. They just saw me parked here, checking to see if I was okay. But you are allowed to park here if you're going to hike the Horseshoe Trail. All right, so I've got just a little bit of a road walk to hike up to where the trail is. So this over here looks beautiful, and it smells amazing. Not sure if they planted this or if it's just grown in here, but probably planted. Looks like wintercress or they call black mustard. And man, it smells good. Yeah, right up here is where the trail crosses the Alleghenyville Road. But yeah, that's picture worthy right there. All right, so here we go. Over there is where I left off last time. Up in those woods is where I was trying to find a place to eat. It was raining pretty heavily. Well, not super heavily, but I was getting wet. Just up in there. And then we had to start that long road walk back up this way. But today is a new day. No chance of rain today. It's a beautiful sunny day. Beautiful day for a hike. And also I do want to talk about, I do have a big trip planned coming up. I want to talk to you about what I have planned for that trip. We'll be heading out to western Pennsylvania. So a little bit later in this video, I'll give you some information about that. Just trying to find my first yellow blaze here today. Alright, there we go, on that tree there. I don't know if you can see it in the shadows, but the first yellow blaze. So, another section that goes through private property, but they allow the trail to go through here. So that's cool. There's that beautiful field of yellow again. Yeah, so like I said, I am headed out on a big 3-day trip next week. Today is May 6th, Saturday morning. On Tuesday, May 9th, I'll be leaving. So I'll be out there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So obviously I have quite a few things planned for that trip. But just as a side note, I know some people are going to, in this video, are going to give me suggestions. Hey, while you're out there, you should do this, you should do that. But you need to realize, though, that by the time you see this video, that trip will already be done. I'll already have been out there, filmed it, and be back already. That's the way it works, the timing of these videos. There's a delay, so. I mean, I appreciate your suggestions, but know that the trip is already done by the time you see this video. So I won't be able to see those things on this trip, if that makes sense. So I have part 3 of my Forbes expedition to finish on the French and Indian War series. We head out to Fort Ligonier and back to Pittsburgh, Fort Duquesne, which is Point State Park now. And then while we're out that way, hopefully hit up the high point of Allegheny County, get to working on that series again, my Pennsylvania County High Point series. And then, of course, there's a ton of covered bridges. I'll be headed down into Washington and Greene County. That should be my first time in Greene County, I believe. There's tons of covered bridges over in that area. I'll be getting to just one covered bridge in Washington County, because it's right on my way down into Greene County, and I will be staying at Ryerson Station State Park. We got a dog barking over here. Looks like he's in a fenced-in area with some other animals, so probably there to protect the animals. So you never know. I've had some close calls with some dogs in the trail already. I'm never actually attacked by one yet, though. I know someone asked me once recently, what's the most dangerous or creepiest thing you've encountered on a trail besides people? And the answer is people's dogs. So people's dogs tend to be more dangerous than any wildlife you're going to encounter out here, to be honest with you. But Ryerson Station State Park will be my 100th state park that I'll be visiting, because I'm going to spend 2 nights there. My second day of the trip, I'm going to spend entirely in Greene County. Get to the Greene County high point, and then Greene County has 7 covered bridges, so I'm going to try to get to all 7 of those that day. We actually might pop into West Virginia that day just for a little bit. Film one thing there, I think. And the third day I'll be making my way home, maybe stopping at a couple places on the way home. I haven't entirely figured that part all out yet, but that's what's coming up, folks. First big trip of the year. And as always, then, a big shout out to my viewers, my Patreon supporters, and all of you who support me in different ways, because without you, these bigger trips would not be possible or financially feasible. So thank you. Just kind of wandering around someone's pasture area. I hear a baby goat up here too. I think this is still the Horseshoe Trail. I've been yapping away to the camera. Yeah, so a correction, I wasn't on the Horseshoe Trail. I was heading down this way. You cross this power line here. There's marks on the trees up there. But I didn't even hardly, let me turn you around. I came down this way. I just kept following the main path, but the Horseshoe Trail actually goes that way. But you notice there's absolutely no signage here. You know, if you're not paying attention, you're just gonna go that way. Because I always tell you to pay attention to the trail markers, the trail blazes, but there's nothing here. Because that way it would take me like right to someone's house. Anyway, so yeah, it goes this way. They need to put a marker here. Again, maybe there was at one time, but there isn't anymore. And then the trail comes more clear. I actually saw someone else running up through this way. So I backtracked a little bit. I was like, something didn't feel right. And there's a yellow blaze on the tree right there. So yeah, that spot there needs some markers on it. Otherwise you're gonna go visit someone's house. All right, back on trail. And I think this is our first and only road crossing for the day. Doesn't have the name of the road on this. I saw it on the map. I don't know if I can pronounce it. Some Pennsylvania German name. Scholick or something. They don't have it written on there. Let's see what's on this one. A lot of the other ones, the post had the road name on it. These ones don't. Anyway, maybe I'll put the name down below for you. You can try to pronounce it. And just like that, we come out to this driveway. Not sure if this is going to be a Pinnacle Drive or not. Nope, not yet, because we do have, I see the double blaze marks on that tree, so we're headed off this little road again. I could just look at my map, but anyway, I know Pinnacle Drive is coming up. I want to show you this tree here. I know in a number of my videos, especially in the fall, I talk about the pawpaw tree. You can eat pawpaws, but this is what the flowers look like. Let's see if I can, hopefully the camera focuses on that. That's a pawpaw flower. Kind of a dark brownish purplish color. Of course, the thing with pawpaw trees is you have male and female trees. This little one here is a female, as is this one here. She has the flowers on. I see quite a few flowers up there, but then some are male trees. They don't have flowers. Most of the trees here in Pennsylvania are male and female trees. But some, like the pawpaw, have a separate male and female tree. Separate male and female tree, kind of like people. Alright, so we are going to be headed steadily uphill. Remember that now from looking at the map earlier. Not some super steep hike, but for next, till we get to Pinnacle Drive, that road walk. Gotta make it up this hill first. It's a warmer day. I don't think I gave the temperature. I think it's just up in the 70s today. Maybe 73, so nice day for a hike. But going up these hills, you're gonna start sweating. Nice little log to take a break, I think. And taking a break isn't always about taking a break from the hike sometimes. Sometimes it's about just taking some time to sit and listen too. Like my favorite bird song. No, they're not gonna do it. Oh, there it was. It's the wood thrush. There it was again. I love that song. That's my favorite bird song on the woods. There it goes again. The wood thrush. But since we are taking a break, we'll listen to the wood thrush and have some yummies. But before we get going again, I do want to remind you of the importance of, actually enjoying a hike. Sometimes we get into the routine or the pattern of just focusing on how many miles we're going to get done, or just focusing on getting it done at a certain time, and we fail to actually enjoy the hike that we're on. Fail to hear the birds singing, or to notice them as much, or to see what's around us. I know that happens sometimes, and sometimes it's unavoidable. Sometimes you only have a certain amount of time to hike, different things, but don't forget to actually enjoy your hike. But let's get going again. Still following those yellow blazes. This is a really young forest we're walking through right now. Most of the trees are about this size right here. These are birch trees. Sweet birch. These are ones that if you pick a twig off, they have that wintergreen smell to them. Love that smell. We have some pawpaw trees in here too. Some tulip poplar trees. So not all too long ago, this might have been a pasture or a field of some kind. Now it's a young forest. A few larger trees. That's a tulip poplar tree, which probably seeded, like this is a younger tulip poplar. That's probably the child of that one right there. Alright then, unfortunately, here's another example of bad labeling on the trail. And I'm not doing this just to complain, I'm just doing to point things out, because it can make following a trail difficult. See the double blaze? See how they're staggered? I mentioned this other times, they're staggered like that. The one on the top is supposed to indicate that the trail turns to the left. Well, there is a trail going off to the left, this way. But it looks like the main trail goes that way, and it just, see the marks there, and just past that, there's a single blaze on the tree up there. And I followed that way up a little bit, and there are more yellow blazes up that way. So the trail indeed goes this way. It does not turn to the left here. So that is wrong. I don't know, maybe it used to go to the left. I might quick look down there to see if there's any yellow blazes down that way, but that can make it confusing. So if there was a trail change, that should have been done away with or painted over. It's because the trail indeed goes straight, because there's the yellow blaze and there's one further up. Yeah, because if we keep going straight ahead, right here's another yellow blaze up here. So this is where the trail goes. Once again, that's why I see another yellow blaze up there. So once again, that's why having the trail blazed correctly just makes it so much easier to hike things. It is important. It's not just a complaint. It could, you know, someone could get lost just from, you know, miss whatever you want to call it, trail signs. There's some bloodroot growing down here. Recognize these leaves. They have a flower early in the spring, one of the first wildflowers to come up. They have some interesting medicinal qualities. Probably a little too late to do a video on them this year. I have to wait till next spring, I think. There's some May apples here. Not blooming here yet. I'll try to find one that is. We are at the top of that hill now, and lo and behold, down here is a May apple that's blooming. Because I think I showed some of these at Shanks Ferry for you. Because they tend to hang their heads down low. Alright, so I just walked up through that way, backed up a little bit because I want to show you something. My heart skipped a beat because I was walking along here. I glanced down and I saw that stick down there. The way it's kind of, you know, twisted and crooked. It almost reminded me of a snake just down there on the trail. I like to find snakes, but when you see one out of your corner of your eye like that, I kind of jumped. But it's just a stick. False alarm. Alright, here we got another double blaze. The other one is staggered that way, so the trail should go to the right, which it does. So maybe this, oh, we do have a sign here. Okay, this is Pinnacle Drive then. Yeah, Pinnacle Drive. So we'll be on this for a while. This is a nice dirt road. I see some burdock down here. That's another plant I'll have to do a video on sometime. It's got some edible medicinal qualities to it. So we head this way for quite a while. So it's a road walk, but it's a gravel or a dirt road. To be honest, I kind of like walking along those. I always talk about the farm, but when I grew up on the farm, we had a long farm lane. That was kind of gravel and dirt. I think just walking along those reminds me of that a little bit. Not a bad spot to live up this way. There's a number of homes back here or things like that. I don't think all of them are like, some of them are just seasonal homes, so places people come up for the weekend or something. It's definitely quiet back here. That's what I like. Yeah, I see back in there, there's a home or something back there. Okay, here's one of the nicer places back here. Nice home back there. Got a pond out back, little garden. Alright, so I think the end of our section is just down the way here. I think the highway is down here, Route 625, I believe. Yep, there, I see it down there. Just up ahead. So I want to check to see what the parking situation is down here, because the map says there's parking down here on this side of the road. Alright, so right here is our Horseshoe sign trail. Blaze marks, so the trail goes right across there, across the highway. Yep, there is parking right there, so that's where we'll start the next one. Park right there and head up that way. And so begins our journey back to where we started. And as usual, I probably won't film a whole lot on the way back. Depends all on what we see, any wildlife crosses my path or things like that. But let's head back. All right, so goodbye to Pinnacle Drive, and we'll head back off-road into the woods. I might take a little break right here, actually, though. Oh, so here's the name of that road that I couldn't pronounce earlier. Schlauch. So it is on this post. I must have missed it. Alright, so it means not too much further to go. And up ahead is that beautiful field of yellow again. So our road is just, actually just right down here. It'll take us back to the township building. All right, Alleghenyville Road. So it's a short little road walk yet. And one last look at that beautiful field of yellow with the blue sky back there. And down there's Naomi, right next to the police vehicle. She's not in trouble though. That'll be it then, folks, for this video. And more than likely, next time you see me, we'll be headed out to the Pittsburgh area on that big trip I talked about a little bit earlier. So, as always, folks, thanks for coming along on this little adventure, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one, wherever that may be, but probably on our way to Pittsburgh.